Hello, WRIGSers. Welcome to episode 6 of the WRIGS Podcast, the weekly reflection, introspection, gratitude, and sharing podcast. Thanks for tuning in. It's a Monday again. Couldn't do it on Sunday. And guess what? We're going unscripted again. I'm so bad at this. It's ridiculous. Haven't been able to. I don't know. I can't say I haven't been able because that's making excuses. I just didn't. I didn't take notes of how my week went, and I'm paying for it now because I'm going to have to make everything up on the spot. Not make everything up, but I'm going to try to actively remember what happened last week and how it went and how it felt, etc., etc. Which is not easy at the moment because I'm so busy. Everything's a bit of a blur this time of year. We're now mid-December, so a lot of things happening, but I'll try to start. I think the first thing I've done was calling my family last weekend, and I think I talked about it in the previous episode because the importance of connection. It was so good to be had such a good impact on me, even though it sometimes can be delayed. So the phone calls were on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. I recorded the podcast on Monday, but I feel like the effect of talking to them, to my family, lasted probably until like Tuesday, Wednesday. So definitely like a slow release sort of dopamine. I don't know if that's the word. Dopamine, serotonin, whichever is the one about happiness. Probably need to study that. The lasted probably until Tuesday, Wednesday. So connections with your friends and family is really important. I don't want to go on it over. I don't want to go over it again too much today because I didn't last weekend, but just wanted to show how important it is because it doesn't last. It's not just a bit of a hit of dopamine and then that's it. It's a slow release, and this is why it's so good, because this is why our phones and our Instagram, etc., and TikTok, and this is why this is so bad, because it's such a burst and a hit of dopamine in such a short amount of time, and we don't do anything to quote unquote deserve it. So that's why it's so bad for you, and that's why you're craving it so much. Whereas to call my family, I had to make time. I make it sound like a chore, but I had to make time. I had to, calculate the time difference because they're all back here, back in France. Whether they were busy or not, whether, sort of like rearrange my schedule because again of time difference and how busy they are, etc. So it feels like an effort. So the reward is even better because of that. So that's the last thing I wanted to say is about this anyway, is that stay connected to your friends and family. FaceTime when you can rather than text. And avoid instant gratification like short burst of dopamine, like TikTok reels, etc. Wednesday, I'm going to jump straight to Wednesday because I think Monday and Tuesday were a little bit uneventful in terms of emotions anyway, just going with emotions. Wednesday I made the choice to not go and work driving Uber because I had some Christmas shopping to do, and it would have put too much pressure on my day if I went driving at 6 a.m. and then went training and then try to fit my Christmas shopping and then go and driving more in the afternoon. It would have been just too hard. So I made the sacrifice. It's a big word, but I chose the loss of income for my mental health and to make my day better, to avoid adding pressure to my day. So woke up relatively early, went to the gym, then I went straight to the shops and to do all the Christmas shopping, and successfully. So that I feel good about myself because I went early because the shopping center were too busy. And in the end, I probably missed out on about $150, which is not nothing. It adds up, but if it's once a week, then I guess I can live with it. I ended up driving a little bit more in the afternoon, which made up a little bit for the morning. I think where I'm going with this is that it can be a bit daunting at first. I can get a bit anxious with money. I'm fine when I have some, but if I don't have that stable income, then I panic pretty rapidly. So making that decision was a bit of a hard decision for me, but I tried to justify it. It would be a better day to do everything, etc. And I think it worked out well. I'm glad I did it because I listened to my body. I was a bit tired, didn't want to. As I said, I had too much pressure on my day. So I'm glad I made that decision because by the end of the day, I felt good. Yes, I lost a little bit of money, but it's not all about money. And it actually gave me time to get home early enough. And I went to the beach with my housemate, and we just sat on the beach, went for a swim, watched the sunset. It was just quality time with a friend, and again, it's human connection. And it's funny because we didn't talk about anything in particular. We didn't even talk a lot, but we were just being with someone. And we were there for an hour maybe. Then we got home, and so much better than me sitting in front of TV or Instagram or I don't have TikTok, but you know what I mean. So making that sacrifice has avoided putting pressure on my day in the morning, which has allowed me to get some quality time, which is good for me. Basically, if I had not done that, if I went driving and then to the gym and then to the shops and then driving more in the afternoon, I probably would have got home exhausted, not ready to do simple things and something as simple as driving to the beach. And I would have felt shitty about myself because it would have been too. I love watching the sunset at the beach, and it would have made me feel like I sacrificed the things I love just for a bit of money, whereas I've sacrificed a bit of money for the things I love, and that's such a better feeling. Listen to my needs, did what I wanted to do. Still with a backup plan. I think you need a backup plan, or like, okay, if really the money situation becomes dire, I can drive more on the weekend to make up for it. I'm lucky I've got this flexibility, but it's all about, I'm just glad I did it. I'm proud of myself for not judging myself about on the days throughout the day being like, oh, you should really go out, you should really go to work. This day was for me, and I took it. That was just very good. And I think on Thursday too, I had to sleep in. I'm pretty sure. Just again didn't feel like working, tired. Again, I'm lucky. I've got this flexibility in my job, but that's also something I chose, and that is why I went to that job, for the flexibility. So it's good, and I think what was very good in all of this, in those 48 hours, was that I listened to my body. I did what was good for my brain at the time, and that just helped so much. Came Friday, I think Friday was an okay day until I sort of like hurt myself a little bit at the gym in the morning, and then I became a bit like grumpy all day, just frustrated. Felt like I can't escape injuries, so this time was my calf, which is weird. I'm definitely not doing too much at the moment because of the other bigger injuries. There was a bit of running and my calf just sort of seized up. So again, did the right thing, stopped mid-workout, well, stopped running anyway. And yeah, I was pretty grumpy all day. But I think the work went well, and by Friday night, I actually went to the shops and I bought a jar of Nutella and I ate it with a spoon. Not the whole jar, but I just had my dinner and then I sat on the couch watching TV and ate Nutella straight from the jar with a spoon. I think the theme for that week is that sometimes you have to let go of what, blow some steam off. Okay, I've been working so much. I've been so busy in my head with my work, with my rehab. It's a lot, and maybe I don't blow as much steam as I used to by going out, etc. So all these little things, having one sleep in, maybe choosing time for myself instead of time for work, Nutella from a jar, just some sweet, forgetting about my diet for just one evening, this is what keeps you going, and that was a lot. I'm just grateful I wasn't judging myself on that moment, and I'm not judging myself now. I just needed that, and it's okay. We all have needs sometimes that we need to listen. We need to listen to our brain and our body. Okay, there's a difference between listening to you, doing what's less good for you, I guess, for one day or for maybe a week. You don't have to worry about it. You it's not like you derailing or getting off the train or whatever the English saying is. You're not going off track. Okay, it's okay to do a little bit of an exception on your work, on your diet, on your sleep schedule, whatever it is, as long as it doesn't repeat a lot. Now, if you do that every week, then it's not an exception anymore. It's a pattern, and it's can be unhealthy behavior or for you anyway, depending on your goals are, etc. So yeah, don't. I think that the moral of that story is that I didn't judge myself. I know I will get back on track as soon as this week, or quick enough anyway. So yeah, trust the process, be kind with yourself, etc. And now we're getting to Saturday. So Saturday was the big, I guess the big hurdle on my week emotionally. Was coaching in the morning, which was fine, but had a few behaviors from members that were just like borderline, just how do you say, just not well educated, I guess. I don't know, like just very unconsiderate from others. That's something that really gets to me. I know everybody just lives for themselves, but like someone's made a mess and they didn't clean, and between classes I was the one cleaning, which is not my job. I don't know, you make a mess, you clean after yourself, just a basic human thing to do. But they didn't, and they saw me cleaning and not even a thank you, nothing. And that made me pretty grumpy. Yeah, again, I was trying to not ruminate on it, which I think I managed to do. I was pretty upset for an hour or so, but I ended up to the conclusion that, yep, I guess we weren't raised different. No, I guess we weren't raised the same. and that I've got values and I live by those values, but unfortunately some people don't have the same values, and it's okay. I can't change the whole world. I can't mold the whole world like me, and I don't even know if that'd be a good idea, to be honest. I'd like to think so, but who knows? I just went with this. I was saying it's okay. I acknowledged that I was angry. I acknowledge that it was valid that I was angry and frustrated. I compared, objectively analyzed how I felt. Was it my schema talking? Was I overreacting about the situation, or was I in the right to be grumpy, angry, frustrated? And I think according to my values, I was in the right. So it was okay. So I could be kind to myself and just be there for me, being supportive to me. I mean, like, it's okay to be angry. It makes sense. You're allowed to, but let's move on. There's no point ruminating on it. And yeah, I don't think I've managed to do that a lot in my life. So it's actually a pretty big achievement / milestone that I've managed to do this. Later on during the day, it's gonna be a bit boring. I'm gonna detail my day, but that's okay. Got home, went for a nap, then I went for a drive again for a few hours. Pretty sure I made some decent coin. I think I made some okay money. So decided to go home earlier, which was good because I had to get ready to go to a birthday where I was planning on getting late. I was planning on getting there late because I thought I had to drive a lot to make money. But again, I decided I could have stayed out and be 2 hours late. It was a birthday party of 40th, but I made a call. I was like, nah, I don't. Again, I just want to do what I want to do, and I won't drink much. And maybe I just, instead of making more money, I just won't spend as much money at the bar or whatever it is that I was thinking of doing. Maybe I had a budget, and I was like, all right, I'll slash my budget in half, and I'll be mindful of what I'm doing. Which means I got there on time, or I think like 20 minutes behind late, which is relatively on time in Australia. Got there. There ended up being a bad time, etc. So my idea of budgeting was like, quote unquote, going to. I didn't need to because everything was taken care of, which was great. Very generous from my friend to do that for their birthday. And I had a few drinks. Had more drinks than I would have liked to. But in the process of all this, I had a very good chat with a friend where we were talking about life and how we feel, especially in a relationship subject conversation. And that friend was saying so many good things about me, and it was just like, I feel like I hear these things more and more and more, and I don't know if it's because I'm becoming more and more and more of these things, which is great. They're a great quality that I want to have, and I'm hoping I'm having, or if it's just people with age or with society these days that are more supportive But anyway, whatever, that person was very supportive and made me feel a lot better, gave me a bit of hope for the future. Maybe not gave me hope, but I felt better about the life choices that I'm making, that I'm focusing on building wealth. I'm focusing on my coaching career and my mental health and doing the things I like and the things I need for me. I'm putting myself first before, as opposed to being a people pleaser like I used to be without even knowing it. And yeah, it's just making me feel better. I feel like I'm on the right path. And as I was saying, there's a part of me, sometimes very prominent part of me. Sometimes it's more background noise, but sometimes it's just very at the forefront of my thoughts. There's a part of me that believes that I will never find someone romantically to do life with. And it's not something easy to tell yourself. There's a chance that it never happens. It's hard to believe because I feel like I've grown so much and I've done so much work on myself, but it's not all about work. If all it took for was hard work, everybody would be happy, right? There's a bit of luck. There's the ability to compromise. Do I have too high standards, like one of my schemas says? No matter how much work I do on myself, if I'm always aiming for something better than me to feel validated, then I never will find someone, because that person will never exist. Because that person might exist right now, but in 6 months I will have grown so much again and feel so much better about myself that this person might not be enough in 6 months. But like, am I in the wrong? Do I have too high standards, or do I just have standards? If I have too high standards, am I in the wrong from having them? I don't want to be with someone that I'm not interested in just because society says they're good, but they're not good into my eyes. Then it's not fair on them, it's not fair on me, and it's really something I need to work on and reflect on, because I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the truth is. What's the right thing to do, to think. Yeah, it's a hard one. But I keep working on it. This is why I do those reflection videos, etc. But that was still early in the night, shall I say. Then we moved to a different bar, and at the end of the night, maybe half an hour before the bar closed, one of the people, one of my friends that were at the party, was like, "Oh, I can't." It's a bit blurry. I was drunk by then, so my friend said this chick pointed up at a woman next to us, and we're like, "She keeps looking at you." So I just turned around and say, "Hey," or maybe she did. Well, I just turned around and maybe she said, "Hey," I don't know. But we ended up having a chat, and she was pretty cool. We were having a good chat, as good a chat as you can be when you're drunk. But it felt like the conversation was okay. We were laughing. Well, just normal meet up in a bar, I guess. But then the bar closed, and we were discussing about going somewhere else, to another place, to keep chatting and having probably more drinks, even though I was probably done by then. there was a bit of back and forth. We were discussing IDs. She was with a friend. When I turned around, all my friends were gone, so it was just me with those two girls. But yeah, I was in my head, we were going to go somewhere else and have a drink and yeah, see what happens. But I told those two girls, well, like, all right, I'm just going to go to the toilet, and so just choose a place because I'm happy with pretty much anything. And when I come back, we can go. I can order a taxi and we can go, or walk there, or wherever we go, whatever. And I went to the toilets and I came back 2 minutes later and they were just gone. And so I laughed first. I was like, fuck, like, I'm gonna swear, but fucking hell, who does that? Like, it's just so rude. It's just so rude. Just be like, I don't know, all you have to say is like, actually, you don't even have to say the truth. You can say, I'm gonna go home. It was nice to meet you. Even if, like, you can say that, or you can be like, no, sorry, you give me, you know, it was nice to chat to you, but I don't want anything out of this, and I'd rather we go our separate ways. It's like, okay, like, no hard feelings, that's okay, but I don't want to say making me believe, because this is something I chose to believe. I chose that. She didn't promise me or anything, but I don't know, it was just so strange. So first I laughed, then I hang around for like 5 minutes just in case they went to the toilets. But after 5 minutes I was just like, nah, it's not happening. So I started walking, leaving the bar, and I saw her friend on the street clearly waiting for a taxi, and I was just like, oh, what do I do? Am I being petty? What do I say? Do I say nothing? But I was just very like, nah, you piece of shit. I was just very motivated to tell them how wrong they were and how red flaggish that behavior was. And so what I did is, that was genuinely on my way. She wasn't like a bit further down the bar and I was walking that way. I decided to walk because I didn't want to pay for an Uber because I had spent too much money anyway already. And I felt like walking would sober me up and I could sort of like process all these thoughts. But I did, while I was walking, I did say, oh, thank you very much for the chat, have a great night. And she was like, I don't know, she was just like, oh, thank you. And then I just kept walking. There's a part of me that wish I had been like, that was a shit behavior, like all the best, but that was just shit behavior. And there's part of me that was like, you shouldn't even have talked to her, they don't deserve my time. I don't know. But then the whole walk home, which was about maybe half an hour, I ruminated a lot. I was like, here we go again. Why is the world so shit? Why am I attracted to someone in a social environment, so like a bar? Why again am I attracted to not the one person, but to someone who does this kind of thing? It's not that I could guess, but I always do. I don't know, is it me? Do I have a sixth sense for red flags and I just go for it without knowing it? Or is it just that everyone's just so shit these days? Probably somewhere in the middle, right? But yeah, it was a lot of, here we go again now, and part of me felt like, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? Why was that chick interested and then she wasn't? But it took half an hour and I was still unsure of whether or not it was my fault or whatever, and I went to bed a bit frustrated and angry and disappointed. But I woke up and I was feeling great, and I was like, no, regardless of whether or not I did something right, something wrong, this is big red flag energy. You don't do that. You don't walk out on someone just as you said, let's go somewhere else. Like, you just don't do that. So, yeah, I felt a lot better with myself because I didn't do anything wrong. Like, even if I said something that she didn't like, all she had to say was like, that's not okay, I'm gonna go. So yeah, I behaved the right way, I believe, and I felt good about myself. Managed to, on the Sunday morning, I managed to go and support a friend who's trying to progress in some CrossFit movements. Just to make it simple, it was quite hard because I was pretty hangover, but I was there and I showed up to my friends, and that's something that's important to me. And then I had a very lazy day watching TV in the couch. That was great. But hopefully I don't get to drink that much again too soon. I need to recover. And that's my week. Monday to Sunday. I think on Sunday as well, it's easy to think of yourself like, oh, I feel so shit. Why am I wasting my life watching the TV on the couch all day, where I could be outside, I could be doing some meal prep, I could whatever. But again, I was like, nah, you took some time for yourself. It's okay. You can take some time for yourself, and you're on the right path. I'm on the right path. So yeah, that's my week. Ended up on a positive note, even though it was a very hangover day. I went to bed feeling good last night, and I'm feeling good today. So, end of the week. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for watching. It's incredible how much doing this is helping me. Like, an older version of myself would not have been able to laugh at what that woman did on Saturday night. So it shows how much better I'm doing and how much more stable I am in my head. I appreciate everyone watching. I'm doing this for me, but I hope it can help you too. Thanks for watching. See you next week.